Hello and welcome back to, I'll call this an in-betweeners episode of GM32. This is actually just the last 10 minutes of my dad's episode, Scoot's episode. It cut off very abruptly. I'm not sure what happened. The file got corrupted and wouldn't save properly. But we got the first 43 minutes up. Got to hear some of my dad's great stories and hear about his college experience. And, it was great just to listen to him reminisce. And, we're going to get these last 10 minutes up for you guys to listen to because he's got some more good stuff to say. And, we don't want our listeners to miss anything. Unfortunately, Vito's not with me for this part, but I'm the editor and I'm the admitted amateur, I'll say. So unfortunately, we've run into some bumps along the way here, but that's okay. We move forward and we learn from it. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for staying committed. And here's the last bit of that episode for those of you who listened and are interested for more.
I wanna dance with the devil, dance with the devil, dance with the devil, dance with the devil. I wanna dance with the devil,
That's my only memory I have from being in Erie, which is funny, but that's how young I was, just one of those experiences. But either way, that was cool. And then obviously, Dad, growing up, watching you coach and stuff, being able to skate on the ice with the junior teams and stuff. As a 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid, you won a championship with the Riverhawks in 2000. That was an experience. You won the Golden Horseshoe with the Falcons again. We could talk for hours and hours and hours about all the coaching and all the stuff, but I guess just as we're kind of coming up on 40 minutes here, I think we're getting along in it. Yeah, just
wow, that's a quick 40.
I want to talk about some of the stuff that stuck out to you. Just as coaching and no, now here we are. I'm 27 years old or whatever, and we're coaching together, and it's been lots of fun. But what are some of the things that stick out to you?
Well, I would think that obviously coaching you was real pleasure and satisfying for me because selfishly I was, and I'll come right out and say this: people frown upon parenting coaches or parent coaches. And if someone is qualified enough, and whether I was or not, I would hope I was, a dad would always have his son's best interest at heart. And if he's a reasonable hockey coach or knowledgeable, he can still make those decisions that are right. And I really loved coaching you all the way through, and I was coaching junior at the time too, so I was double dipping, coaching the minor hockey and coaching you and whatever. But that sticks out to me to be a part of your life as a young hockey player, to develop you much like I was developing all the junior players at that time. And just my experiences in coaching, it just fueled my passion for the game and for loving my hockey players. One thing I always told the players, I would never expect anything of you that I wouldn't give to you myself. Mm-hmm. And I was always all in. So if my players were all in, then we were going to have a good time. And winning's hard. Winning is very hard. But the journey, the experience, and the stories that we have, and I'm sitting here as a 60-year-old, and this is so much fun tonight for you guys to take me back and think of all these things. That's why you do it. That's why you do it. There's just not enough. There's just the experiences outweigh money, outweigh everything to doing things for the right reason. And I wanted to coach for the right reason and make a difference in guys' lives. And I hope I did. I listen to your podcast. I kind of chuckle at some of the stories I hear. But that's why I coach. I coach because I love the guys. And I guess, which brings me to another little story. Sorry, I have a bunch of them here, but
keep telling them.
Good stories. Carson's 2 years old, 2.5, I think, and Cheryl's doing dishes we lived in Weyburn Circle, and the kitchen window went right out into the Crescent. And this beautiful black sports car pulls up, and she's like, what is going on here? And it was the summer, but it was after the National Hockey League draft, and Jay McKee had just been drafted by Buffalo, and Keyser pulled up in the car, and he pulled out a case of beer out of his car and couldn't thank me enough for what I'd done for him and for him being drafted and everything. And I think of those stories, and that's why you do these things, right? Just to get the thanks back from players that you think you're hoping you did a pretty good job with, and you could be a part of their lives. And that was special. That was special having him come up. And I mean, the case of beer was nice. I wish he'd have brought me a sports car, but
well,
that's awesome.
One cool thing you got from one of your players is that old signed stick from Joe Thornton, one of the last sticks he used in junior before he got drafted into the NHL.
Yeah. Any good jumbo stories?
He is just how he is now. And that year, because that was a tough year for me, I had resigned from Erie. It was a very, very tough year. And in fact, the Erie experience was very bad. It almost took me out of hockey because it really affected my health, affected the kids, Cons, my wife. It was a real hard time. It was a move that shouldn't have happened. Vito, you could talk to your dad about this because he was in that arena with them rumors every night about this team leaving. It was when we were in Niagara Falls. It was one of the hardest years of my life, knowing that Basson was in there and going to move that team. And we had to lie to everybody, and everybody knew, but the questions, I couldn't go anywhere without being asked. And it was a horrible year. And then moving to Erie, the parents weren't happy. They weren't happy their kids were going to get American education instead of Canadian education, blah. So it was not a great experience. But in saying that, I decided, because of just reasons that weren't going too well for me and the family, the kids, that I was going to resign. So I resigned. But then Sault Ste. Marie come knocking. Davey Mayville was a GM there, and he called Sherry Bass. He said, "Look, I'll take over the contract that you signed Chris for if you let him come on board and assist Joe Patterson and Bobby Jones here in Sault Ste. Marie." And I thought, holy crap, what an opportunity this is, because the Sioux, we had that team was a Memorial Cup contender. Joe was on it. So to be able to go to the rink every day and know Joe, and Joe was, I mean, he was hitting the league back then. Joe was the number one guy, as he was in there when the Bruins took him. It was phenomenal coaching him, but he was just as he is now. Funny, aloof, great during practice, could just crack a room up. And man, what a hockey player, what a guy. And I took a shining to him. He was a good guy. I met his parents, and then at the end of it all, he gave me that his stick, his signed stick, and said, "Here, Scoots, I want you to have this," and whatever. And I said, thanks so much, because I wasn't there a long time. I was only there for couple months, 2 or 3 months, and helping Joe. And Joe Patterson was a wonderful coach. I learned so much from him. George Burnett, all those guys in the OHL back then. You go to a league meeting, and Bert Templeton and Larry Mavety and Brian Maxwell, all these guys are at these meetings and taking something away from everything these guys said and all. It was a great time in my life to be involved in that league. So it's
awesome.
It was a great experience.
Thanks so much, Dad. Honestly, thanks for coming on and talking to us about all this stuff. And yeah,
that's amazing. You gotta come back on for us, man.
For sure, we could talk for hours. There's so much we didn't even get to.
There's some doozies, boy.
And we will. You know what? We'll have you on with other guys, because we got guys on that tell stories about you. So many of our buddies have been coached by you. Almost all of us, at one point or another, coached against you or some kind of story. So we'll get you on again, and we'll have some fun, and it'll be good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me, fellas. That's awesome. I mean, it's the two of you, I think, are doing a great job. I get a kick out of listening to these podcasts. I think you're both doing a great job, and it's for the local guys, for what we are around here. It's important. People need to appreciate this area.
Exactly.
They need to appreciate what's here, because there's many great hockey players, great hockey people here in this area.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And to get the stories out of these guys just is something else. Like some of the things we've heard, that especially that we haven't known, it's incredible.
Yep.
Incredible.
And there'll be lots more. For sure.
Yeah, there'll be lots more.
Hey, some I'd like to take back, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, hindsight's 20/20.
That's it.
Yep. Well, Veets was awesome. I mean, we got to get your old man on here. I mean, it's great to have my dad on.
Yeah. You know what, Cars? I think the committee came to a final decision there. I think we're gonna have Big Veets and Tony DeCarlo Sr. on in the upcoming weeks.
Beauty.
So it's gonna be a tough one to follow, though. This Scoot man, he's amazing, dude. And you're a lucky character to have him as a father and a hockey mentor and all of the above.
Yeah, man. A lot of cool things, and just hearing the stories and stuff of growing up, right? And just having my dad there to obviously teach me the game. Very lucky. Very lucky. It's a lot of, the reason of who I am. So, the reason I am what I am, I should say. But yeah.
No, absolutely. He pushed you in the right direction. What amazing! We can't wait to have him back on.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Great.
Anyways, Vito, tell him where to find us.
You know what? You know where to find us. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. I'm Vito Scaringi.
I'm Carson Johnstone. As always, we got one question for you.
Can you feel it now? Would you take